So much for the best laid plans. Yesterday here on the video report, I had 5 complimentary plays in college hoops. I told you my second favorite play of the day was Texas-Arlington. Mavericks won with ease. I gave you the first 2-team teaser in college basketball, and one of the few times I've had one in my entire career. How brilliant was that play? Let me pat myself on the back. As I told you to play USC and Wisconsin in a 2-teamer, that cashed in. Told you to play Wisconsin-Milwaukee, another easy winner. And then I told you to play Wisconsin and USC straight up. Well, Wisconsin got the job done. USC didn't. So 4-1 yesterday overall with the college comp plays, which means those college complimentary selections are now on a 12-3 run the last 15. 12 out of 15 with the games, and I, again, am giving away. Now, the only problem is, and you just have to excuse me, I'm losing my voice, is that my best bet yesterday, and it was college, 15 dime, best bet winner, number 6 out of 7 potentially, was Tarleton State, and a 5.5 point home chalk lost outright. It happens sometimes. But I'm not going to be one of these weasels, and I never have been, that say, oh, I keyed the wrong game. I had the winners, but I picked the wrong game to use. Oh, come on. You pick the damn game and you live with it. But the reality is this, is that my handicapping was right on target. I'm the guy who picked the game. I just picked, hey, I thought Tarleton State was the best of all the games. But the lesson to be taken here is something I've always advised you, is always dance with the girl that you brought, meaning never change your handicapping methodology, because those that do, that's how little losing streaks turn into long losing streaks. I mean, clearly, I am laser focused right now in college basketball. That one little loser last night, well, it was one loser among all those picks after narrowing down a huge card. I have definitely got my finger right now on the pulse. But it's like in any sport, just like athletes and teams, they go in cycles where you're red hot and sometimes you'll go in slumps, but still, you don't change your approach and don't change your methodology. Never should you. Now, the other thing you know about me is that I'd never celebrate the wins, nor do I lament the losses. So the college card tonight sucks, but in the NBA, there is one game that is just screaming, bet me, bet me, bet me in my ear. And you know what that means, guys. Listen, tonight I have my first Raise the Bar. This is really hard to talk. Raise the Bar 20 dime NBA release of the entire season, and it goes tonight. And yeah, I've been a little hot in the NBA over the past 15 weeks. The normal 15 dime best bets, I've won 23 out of 33 over 15 weeks. Tonight, first Raise the Bar 20 dime release in the NBA. I like this team on the road to roll by double digits with the easy cover. And again, it's the half price play of the day using the word half. Before I get to your comp plays for today, as you know, I used to be a reporter many, many years ago. Excuse me, I have to cough. Sorry, guys. But listen, and in that same time period, when I was also managing editor of a national sports wire service, I also was their boxing editor. And there wasn't a fight, major fight, that I didn't cover in the 80s. And it was just a great time to be involved with boxing. And boxing is something that I grew up loving. It's something my father and I shared in terms of watching boxing all the time. How first fight my father ever took me to, kind of a good one. Leonard Duran, #1. Just an amazing atmosphere. But you saw the news yesterday that 57-year-old Mike Tyson is going to take on Jake Paul. Now, they haven't decided whether they're going to call it an exhibition or it's going to be a fight. I'm just going to tell you, I think it's going to be a joke. Because Jake Paul is nothing but a joke. I mean, he's fought, if you want to say fought is the word, put it in quote marks, a bunch of, well, you can't even call them tomato cans because that denigrates when you used to call boxers tomato cans and it had a meaning behind it. Listen, Jake Paul is, he's muscular, he's built himself up, but that doesn't mean he's a boxer because you can throw some combinations. But at the same time, don't get so excited about Mike Tyson, because I can tell you, I covered enough Mike Tyson fights that there's 2 eras of Mike Tyson's career, 2 different eras. And the Mike Tyson that people want to remember, that Mike Tyson ceased to exist June 27, 1988, when he destroyed Michael Spinks in 91 seconds. That Mike Tyson started going down the hill even before Buster Douglas took him out February of 1990. And then, of course, he had the prison, blah, 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 the Evander Holyfield biting the ear. He was never the same, really, after he took on Michael Spinks. Didn't train, didn't have that raw animal mentality, and I say that in the most complimentary way, where he wanted to go in and kill your mother and his opponent at the same time. He was never the same. But I will tell you this. As guys age, boxers age, they lose their ability to navigate the ring. They lose their legs. Often they lose their ability to take a punch. But the one thing they don't lose is their ability to punch. And I assure you that Mike Tyson may not be able to catch you, may not be able to punch for an entire 3 minutes in a round, but his punches will still hurt the same, just like George Foreman's. Hell, Joe Frazier, I was at his Clover Lake gyms in Philadelphia about 10 years after his final retirement. And when he hit the heavy bag, oh, he hit it and it hurt. Boxers don't lose their punching ability. They just can't punch as frequently and as often, and they can't catch you as frequently and as often. So Jake Paul ought to be careful, because if he's on the receiving end, it's like, what did Mike Tyson say? Everybody has a plan until they get hit. Oh, yeah. So anyway, let's get to your... I'm having a hard time here, guys. Let's get to your complimentary plays, and they're all going to be in the NBA. The first one tonight, I'm going to go with the Oklahoma City Thunder minus the big number at home, because this is one of the classic situations that I look for in the NBA, going against a team that's on the second leg of a back-to-back, especially when both legs are on the road, and the Miami Heat certainly qualify, coming off a 114-108 loss last night at Dallas. Remember, the Heat are still without Tyler Hero, Kevin Love, and Josh Richardson. Last night, big numbers by Butler, Bam, and Rozier as they played 38, 37, and 40 respectively. And you know it's not like the Dallas Mavericks are playing a half-court game. That means the Heat are chasing them up and down the floor. Oklahoma City has been idle since that 128-120 win at Portland on Wednesday. They're 24-6 straight up at home. They're on an 8-2 overall roll, and I like Oklahoma City minus the points here tonight, because they are also going to play at a fast pace too. I think I got to go with Orlando here, minus the 1.5 at Miami. At New York. Jalen Brunson is the unknown here. As I go live here, he is questionable for this game, but he did practice most of Thursday. It wouldn't surprise to see me play here. Of course, the Knicks have been idle since Tuesday's home loss, in which Brunson missed it against Atlanta, 116-100. Now, Orlando did rally from 21 down to beat Washington 119-109 on Wednesday. They've won and covered 5 in a row. They've won 8 of their last 9, a streak that began with a 118-100 home win against the Knicks back on Valentine's Day, a game in which Brunson had 33 points. So again, I like Orlando minus the 1.5 there. I looked at Cleveland minus the 2.5 against Minnesota, a team that also played last night. And listen, I can tell you now that Minnesota is 7-2 on the tail end of back-to-backs, and both losses have come on the road. But, Cleveland has its own injury concerns with Donovan Mitchell out, Evan Mobley out, Max Struss out. So I'm shying away from that game. But again, of the 2 plays, I like Oklahoma City more than Orlando, and that'll do it for today's card. We'll talk to you again tomorrow with that big college card awaiting us.